martial arts friends, welcome to the video. Thank you for clicking on the link. I greatly appreciate it. Doing things a little bit differently than I normally do today. I guess what I've been doing lately, I'm picking back up my, or bringing back from the dead, my Martial Fitness channel. The Martial Fitness, I'm not going to get into it in this video. It's a channel that I had started years and years and years ago, and I'm bringing it back for some specific reasons. I'm going to be focusing more on my hand-to-hand art forms, bringing those back up to where I want them to be at for some health reasons. And I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I will be doing like a video in the future explaining all of this, what martial fitness is, why I'm focusing on it, all that good stuff. But I'm really focusing on my Kung Fu, because Kung Fu is kind of like at the foundation of like all of the arts that I've studied. So the way that I see it, Kung Fu is my hand-to-hand style. And even though I've got a bunch of other stuff that I've piled onto it, realistically, all of that stuff just added to my Kung Fu. And then I would say, as far as weapons goes, my weapon style is Kali. And I kind of keep it delineated or divided in my mind that way a little bit. It kind of helps me out anyway. And so today I wanted to show you a little bit of Kung Fu, okay? This is something that I've been working on. I'm rebuilding my home dojo. The Hojo is coming back. I'm loving it. I got more equipment to set up, hopefully in the coming weeks. Back here is going to look more and more awesome as time goes on. But anyway, let's get into it, right? So this Kung Fu technique is actually pulled from the snake style. So my system of Kung Fu is a 5-animal system of Kung Fu. It focuses heavily on snake style Kung Fu just because of what my instructor, like that was his focus, and so obviously it's a lot of what I know. So this is actually some snake style Kung Fu that I'm going to show you today, and we're going to be using the double end bag here, and you can kind of see it right here. There's this line coming down here, right? This is just kite string. It goes on an angle. Let me show you this. This is super good training equipment here. So we've got this little base here that ties off right up there to that little screw. Wanted to show you that because my whole thing is inexpensive yet effective at-home training equipment. So a double end bag like this is like, I don't know, you can get something for like 30, 40 bucks on Amazon. That was like 20 or 30 bucks for the base over there. And that's just a plate, like a weight that, you know, for my bar over here. You can even just just tie a rope around some bricks for the bottom of this, like whatever you got to do to make it work, right? So anyway, so this is my setup today. You don't have to have this, but it does help if you have this. And you'll notice that my string, where my double end bag is, it starts to hit my head roughly about when I can actually make contact with this. This shows you that you're in range and that you got to be able to move your head or block or do something once you get into striking range, especially when you're in punching range. So what we're going to do, let me see, how do I want to show this? So we're going to be doing an inner block to okay. How do I describe this? How do I want to show this? Man, this is actually harder to show than Kali is, all I have to say. Okay, trying to figure out how to actually describe how to do the things that I'm doing here. So I'm standing here. The bag is basically on 0 degrees, to borrow from Kali verbiage here, right? And then my line, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to bring my right hand on the left side of this line, doing what I call an inner block, okay? So the hand comes to the inside and you're pushing it out. Some people call that an outer block. I like to call it an inner block because that's where the block originates, is on your inside. Boom, like that. And we are going to, so we're blocking the string, right? Making room for now my head to be here. I'm clearing this space. And then I'm going to take in a spear hand fashion, this is like your snake's head, right? It's like your snake head. And I'm taking these two fingers, my index finger and my middle finger, and I'm rubbing it like that across the bag. The reason is that's an eye scrape, okay? So I would be, boom, scraping the eyes with your nail. You'd be surprised how effective that is. That blinds somebody real fast. So you're doing an eye scrape with your snake's head strike, bringing your backhand to the right side of the line, doing an inner block with the backhand. My front hand retracts so it can do a jab, basically, but this is a spear hand strike. So I've got my hand like this, and these two fingers are bracing my middle finger, and I'm concentrating the force on that middle finger there. And notice my hand is slightly cupped. It's not flat like that, slightly cupped to brace your fingers, okay? So you're doing inside block, eye scrape, backhand does an inside block, and then you're doing a spear hand strike. Then I'm going to take this front leg and step slightly to the outside, right? Which would be kind of like your right 45 if you're thinking Kali. This back hand is going to come behind the bag. This would be like I'm grabbing the back of their head. Notice how my hips have rotated over, because I'm going to step up and boom, and bring this down into this back knee, boom, with a knee to the face. So let's do that again on the right hand side. So we're starting out of range. Just in a basic ready stance is fine. Doesn't have to be anything too special. As you move into range, your hand is going to come to the left side of the string, and you're bringing it over essentially to your shoulder, and then you're doing an eye scrape. Backhand comes to the right side of the string and moves it to the outside, and then your right hand is going to do a spear hand strike. This would be striking them in the throat or in the side of the neck, depending on how they move from that first strike. Backhand, as you take a slight step to the outside, is going to grab the back of the bag. This would be the back of their head, and you are throwing this down as you are shooting your knee up. Boom, like that. You should practice everything on both sides of the body with pretty much any hand-to-hand. In Kali, they talk about this as like equal length weapons, right? So anytime you have equal length weapons, you can do things on both sides of the body. And so you really should practice both sides with your hand-to-hand skills. And so we're going to start out kind of out of range, and left hand this time is going to take this to the left outside, doing an eye scrape with that snake's head strike. My backhand comes underneath the other hand, and my left hand strikes my spear hand strike. I'm going to take a slight step with my left foot to the outside as I reach behind the bag and throw it down into my knee. I got to get a better clip for it down there. One more time on the left-hand side, and then I'll just demonstrate this from side to side a few times for you guys and let you go. So we're stepping in, Left hand comes out to the left-hand side, and you're bringing the string out as you're moving into range, and you do your eye scrape. Backhand comes underneath the front hand, brings the string to the right side as you do a left hand spear hand strike. Left leg is going to step slightly to the outside. Right hand reaches behind the bag, and you, boom, knee upward, like that. Let me just run through it side to side a couple of times for you guys, and then I'll let you go. That's all I got for you guys today. It's a little bit of kung fu for you. You'd be surprised how effective that little snake's head strike is to the eyes. It catches people off guard. People don't usually expect you to just bring your fingers across their eyes like that. And it doesn't take much pressure at all to blind somebody. You're not going to take out somebody's eye. What that's designed to do is make the eyes water and blind them from the watering of the eyes, which makes it so that your follow-up techniques are just that much easier to land because your opponent can't see what you're doing. So anyway, hope you guys liked it. Hope you can use it. Hope it's something you can that gives you ideas for your own training. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. God bless. Deuces.